Sports. And we'll see Joe Mixon.
It's dreary and miserable throughout much of the Midwest, but don't fear, we've got football to perk up our spirits as we join you from Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. Today we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here, as it'll be the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gunn. To my left, Charles Davis. And Charles, you focus on this Bengal team entering play. They're off to a terrific start, unbeaten at 5-0 through the first month and change.
And you can hang a lot of this early success on their defense, too. They're the tone setters for these guys, and the entire team feeds off of what they do.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, it's been a lost first month of the season, that's for sure, as they come in with an 0-4 record.
And the window's not shut on them, though.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. Coming out of the end zone, D. Eskridge. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. So the Seahawks ready to take over on offense, and it is a first-time Pro Bowler who leads them out, Charles, in his 11th year now, Geno Smith.
And coming up of an early season open week. And in this situation, what he told us when we sat down with him was he spent a lot of time working on fundamentals, kind of getting back to basics during that time, as opposed to having to worry about healing up or resting up. It's too early in the season. Get back to the basics, get his game going again.
5 yards on the game's first play, second down. A shotgun snap for Smith. That one taken in by Dwayne Eskridge. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. Throwing now is Geno. This is Fant on the short completion. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. The Bengals now set for their first possession, and it's Pro Bowler Joe Burrow who leads this offense in his 4th season now out of LSU.
Burrow may be young in his career, but he's helming the Bengals to one of the best stretches they've ever seen. 12 wins last year, which matched the team record, and they made the conference championship game in back-to-back seasons for the first time ever. At the center of it all is the man they call Joey B. 35 touchdown passes last year and almost 4,500 yards.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Again, it's Mixon. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there.
So this, Charles, on paper at least, not the most even of matchups. Polar opposite, really. I mean, on one sideline, you got the hottest team in the league, still unbeaten, and on the other side, a winless squad.
And that's why I owe you big, because you did email me this week to remember any given Sunday. That was a phrase you typed to me, and that's what we have to remember in this ball game. It resounds when you think about it. Unbeaten versus winless, any given Sunday, anything can happen in this league.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. And that one complete once again to Higgins. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long. Now it's Burrow. This pass complete to Higgins.
Everyone in the NFL is looking for mismatches, and T. Higgins' size and speed at receiver That allows him to have those type of mismatches against most defenders. 6'4", ability to flat-out fly. They can use him everywhere, including in the slot. He's a dangerous playmaker and a big-time producer in the red zone.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down. They'll try and throw forward with Burrow. Open man, it's complete to Higgins. Touchdown Bengals. T. Higgins, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bengals' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Now a hit and a loose football. And I believe he was able to get this back. He was. Boy, after giving up the touchdown, lucky that didn't turn into another.
I didn't do this in college, but I did it in high school. When you return kicks and you lose it yourself, the panic that goes through you and the determination to get the ball back, I don't even know how to describe it. And I think we just saw an example there.
Yeah, and the relief when you get it back like he did.
Yeah, you go to the sidelines, you know you're going to get yelled at, but you can handle it because you got the ball back.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now Geno. Left side complete to Lockett. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it's 2nd down. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. On 2nd down, here's Smith. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf, and it's 3rd and 3. You talk about this Bengals defense. They were excellent a week ago in the victory over Arizona.
If I'm playing quarterback against this team, after what I saw on film where they had 5 picks last week, all I'm thinking about is taking care of the football, being very careful with it, and making sure I see my guys open before I throw it.
I might curl up in the fetal position.
That's not a bad idea.
I don't think he's going to do that. And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their 2nd drive. And they come into this one riding that nice long win streak. And remember, next weekend is an open week for them. So if they can get the win here, a lot of momentum into that time off. And now off to the races down the right side. On the move past the 40 and down to the 27-yard line. A big play there for Cincinnati. 46 yards.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Burrow looking to pass. Short throw to Smith. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Now Burrow. His throw incomplete.
Just looking at it from a defensive perspective, when you break the huddle in the red zone, tight end is one of the guys you've got a key on because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position, and they want to get it to someone. And in this case, he had the play. They just didn't complete it.
And he is going to have the Bengals 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue, just make sure you feed me the football? And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Here's Burrow. That's to Chase. He's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Jamar Chase, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bengals lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. Well, this has been a flawless start for them. They score, they get the stop, and they score again, Charles.
Complimentary football at its finest. You just mentioned how they got it done. They scored. The defense got the ball back for them. They score again. That's the way you win ball games.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good, and it's now 14-0. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. From the end zone, here comes Eskridge. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And they, of course, coming into this one in the midst of a tough losing streak. They did get helped out by the open week last week, and in talking with him, all indications were, Charles, that was a very helpful break.
Yeah, I know a lot of teams, coaches, they hate taking time off in the midst of a losing streak because they think they have to stay on their toes and punch their way out of it. But occasionally, you get that open week, you step back, evaluate what's been going wrong, see what you can put in that can move you forward, and maybe you get a chance to breathe a little bit and kind of start over.
And he'll take this to about the 24, a gain of 3. Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand.
Well, the goal is to get back into this game. The offense is certainly moving in the wrong direction. This is certainly a case where one team needs big splash plays right now, but unfortunately, it's the other team that's getting them.
Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. Here's Jones on the return. They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42. And the Bengals will take over in terrific field position. So here are the Bengals set to take over. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak, and right now in the driver's seat in this ball game as well. Mixon with a first down carry. Able to avoid him. And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30. Give him 17 at a Cincinnati first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
They will throw on first down with Burrow. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from Cincinnati. It's the Bengals with the football here. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long. Burrow will throw. And he's got his tight end, that's Smith. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
This offense is looking very comfortable here in this first half. Very relaxed, very smooth, very efficient. No wasted motions. Things are definitely going their way, and they continue to move the ball downfield.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. They go play action with Burrow. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. They give it off here to the tight end. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
Mixon.
Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but I believe he might be a few inches short. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave him with some options here on 4th and inches.
Well, let's see what they do. They're knocking on the door here in the second quarter.
And you know what you look at on your play sheet? Your 2-point conversion plays, because you've drawn up a number of them in today's football. You don't just have 1 or 2 for the game. You have more like 6 or 7. Which one do you like here? Because that's essentially what you're going for right now. That spot of the field, call one of those. And
that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown.
Irv Smith Jr. there to make the grab. And the Bengals take a 3-touchdown lead. Well, just a sensational start for this offense, Charles. 3 drives, 3 passing touchdowns.
Is that like mentioning a perfect game in baseball? Or are we cool to do it here in football, pardon?
No, I think you can do it here in football. I think perfect game in baseball, that's its own category.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Could not imagine a worse start for that secondary, or let's face it, a better one for this offense. No chance they stop passing now the way that it's going. I think they'll continue to press the ball downfield and hopefully reap the same results.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Now Smith and the Seahawks going to come up 1st and 10
at their 25-yard line.
They'll begin here with a run with Charbonnet.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And this offense on 3rd down today, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 6. He lets it fly for Lockett. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Here's Michael Dixon now to punt. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt.
And the Bengals take over 1st and 10.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
From the 24 now, here's 2nd down at 7.
Play action. It's Burrow.
Throw left side, complete to Chase. And Chase going to pick up a Bengals 1st down as the tackle made up around the 33-yard line.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon.
Able to avoid him at the 40. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
And the catch made, it's Tyler Boyd. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49.
Burrow to Boyd there for the Cincy 1st.
And I think there defensively, they were so intent on stopping the run that they kind of got caught out of position. This is just a simple pitch and catch for a 1st down.
2 1st downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Burrow on play action. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earn a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Now Burrow to throw on 2nd down. Catch is made here by Irv Smith Jr. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 34-yard line. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Again, it's Burrow. Here's Higgins out on the right side. And after that last play, we've got an injured man, and it's a big one. Joe Burrow shaken up. You hope this is nothing serious. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Now it's the backup Simeon. And that is incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
2nd and 10, Simeon again. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, and they got to him again. And while all of that was going on with a sack, it appears, unfortunately, we have an injured player. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. So on 4th down, on is Brad Robbins to punt for the Bengals. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
And he'll get it down to the play to the 37. 31 yards there and a 1st down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Again, it's Charbonnet. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the Bengals 38-yard line.
Out of the gun, a give to Charbonnet. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the 1st. A shotgun snap for Smith. And the throw there going to be incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down as his Cincy defense stands up on 3rd. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yes, let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Well, that's something of a pick-me-up. The offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. He's over 40 yards here in the 2nd quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals.
Out of bounds at the 30-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
They're passing here. Joe Burrow. He gets this one to Boyd. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
And the Seahawks add a couple of extra DBs going with the dime look here.
Indeed, 6 on the field. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. 55 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game. On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Mario Edwards flies in to blow that play up. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. This time they stay on the ground, and they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. The final shot here before break. Smith. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the 2nd quarter.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the 2nd half. And this will come out to the 25 as Jones elects for the touchback. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. And I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
This goes out wide for Mixon. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. Now it's Burrow. Got a man. It's Chase. He completes it. And he is going to have a Bengals first down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now it's Burrow. Short throw to Smith. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And it's 2nd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
On 2nd down, here's Burrow. Throw right side, pulled in by Higgins. No question that they're going to continue to look his way. 6 catches in the first half and now 7 on the game. From midfield now, Burrow. He completes it to Boyd. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that'll bring up second down.
Second and 6 at the 46-yard line.
On the delay, it's Mixon. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Throw left side complete. That's Boyd. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Burrow looking to pass. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
Now Burrow. That's taken in by Higgins. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
He's up to 70 yards receiving now as that last catch gets him a first down.
I'd have to say they're feeling like they are in rhythm right now. Things are in sync, aren't they? Team's winning, got a nice little margin on the scoreboard, completing some passes, and they just completed another one for a first down there to the tight end.
From the red zone now, here's Burrow, first down. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football.
That's to Chase. He's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Jamar Chase with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Bengals take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Well, partner, he has carried them in this ball game throwing the football. All 4 touchdowns through the air, and that's really helped them get this nice lead.
And I know it's a team game, but right now, he is truly the focal point. Every touchdown his team has so far has been the result of his arm. How about him throwing it downfield, creating big plays? I don't know how you slow him down unless you can make him uncomfortable in the pocket.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line.
And we got a pause following the play because it appears a member of the Bengals in some discomfort. But the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. On 1st and 10, it's Charbonnet.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle.
There's Charbonnet once again.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
They'll try the air now with Smith. This is Fant on the short completion. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Out of the gun, Smith. And that will be incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down as his Cincy defense stands up on 3rd.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
He hits his target, Lockett. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage.
A gain of 18 on the play. 1st down, Seattle.
On the give, here's Charbonnet. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
Smith. And complete to Smith and Jigba. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Cincinnati. This offense so far on 3rd down, they're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this 2nd half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And he finds Lockett in the end zone. Touchdown, Seattle. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Jason Myers now for the extra point. And this is up and good. It cuts the lead to 28-10 now. So that drive spans 13 plays.
And it ends with a Tyler Lockett touchdown. On the return is Charlie Jones. And he returns this to the 22.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here.
As they try to finish things off in this 4th quarter, and that current 5-game win streak looking like it's going to go to 6.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
On 3rd down, Mixon. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Nothing doing on 2nd and 3rd down after that 9-yard gain on 1st.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped them, bringing up 4th down.
The Bengals bring out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and it'll be Seahawk football 1st and 10.
Now Smith and the Seahawks going to come up 1st and 10.
Just shy of the 30. Geno now to throw.
That's complete to his running back, Dallas.
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28.
2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 28-yard line.
Smith. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete.
You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
He's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Now on fourth down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. The Seahawks go for it but can't convert. And the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position. A gutsy decision there at this stage in the second half in their own territory, and a decision that they might regret.
Can't wait for the post-mortem. You know, this post-game press conference, because the questions are going to come fast and furious about this decision, no matter how the game turns out, right? What were you thinking there? Why? Did you have a certain play call? Were you confident in your defense? Oh, yeah. Why? It's going to keep coming up.
Yeah, no matter the scoreboard, just tough to justify. Throwing now, Burrow on first down. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense can crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
Burrow going to fake to mix it and now look to throw. Working the middle here. That's complete to Sample, the tight end. It'll go as a gain of 4. And that'll bring up fourth down.
Excellent job there defensively. Gave up the underneath to the tight end on third down, and they made sure that they did their job. Got him on the ground and prevented him picking up a first down.
McPherson's kick is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Taken at the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. And we will get another look at Seattle's offense. And you hate to see this for them, but they're looking at yet another loss to begin this season. Things really going from bad to worse as they trail here starting this drive 1st and 10 in the fourth quarter. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Now Geno. A quick target here, complete to Metcalf. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
5 yards on the play. And it's 3rd down.
Now it's Smith. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. And it's a fumble, and the Bengals grab it. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Cincinnati now ready to take the field.
And they have to be feeling pretty good. Comfortable fourth quarter lead as they take over following the fumble recovery. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
Throwing again is Smith. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Now Smith. Now he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, Let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. I actually have heard of a coach in the past who took his team out to the practice field and ceremonially buried the game films from the prior game when they got clobbered. That was his way of putting it behind them.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. Here we go on 4th. Smith. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Pete Carroll rolled the dice, but it didn't.
Here we go.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun to give to Mixon. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy, because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out, because this one, it was over a long time ago.
That's a gain of 4 as we slip inside of 4 minutes left in regulation.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
Here we go.
On 3rd down, Burrow. This goes out wide for Mixon. And he's going to be marked down short of the 1st down, right around the 17. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that's going to make it 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
So on 4th down, off goes Burrow. On comes Evan McPherson for the Bengal field goal. McPherson's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately, not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
On the return, it's Eskridge, and he'll bring it out.
And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field.
We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter.
7 yards there on the 1st down screen play.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
The offense on 3rd down, they've been stymied left and right, converted only 1 time. Here it's 3rd and 3. A shotgun snap for Smith.
Pass complete. He's got Smith and Jigba. And he is going to have a Seahawks 1st down, and he's going to have it by plenty. Able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 2.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. On 1st down, it's Smith. Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And the return stops at the 39-yard line.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here.
And this crowd has certainly liked what they've seen. Their guys fully expected to win this one coming in, and they have not disappointed as they've got the big lead here in the 4th. Burrow's throw taken in here by Chase.
That'll give them 8 that time, and that'll bring up a 2nd down and just a couple.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. When in doubt, do it yourself as he keeps it for 3 and a 1st down.
Here we go.
Now it looks like he'll throw here.
They're looking for Higgins, but it is intercepted. Tariq Woolen picks it. And the Seahawks are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line.
Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
They were coming off the extra week of rest, but this team started sluggish, and it really didn't get any better from there, and trailing big here in this 4th quarter.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Geno.
And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. This complete to Lockett. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. To the air again, Smith.
And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Looks like they're going to keep throwing to the bitter end. This one's long since over, but give them credit. They're going to go down fighting. That one, incomplete.
From the gun on 3rd down, Smith. And that is incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
No choice but to go. Here's 4th down now.
Here we go.
Desperation time for Smith on 4th down. He's going to let it fly. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle.
DK Metcalf,
51 yards.
And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
He's got it. So they convert the 2. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a 2-score game.
Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples throughout a ball game. Here's a great example right there.
They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Burrow on play action. Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins. And it's intercepted at the goal line.
Well, they tried to take their shot right there, but the ball hung up a little too long, and it's intercepted.
And when you describe trying to take their shot right there, usually the ball has to be thrown on a little bit more of a line. You just mentioned it. The ball hung up there. The reaction time of the defenders, they win the day and intercept it.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Another try, 2nd and 10 now. Smith.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
One last throw here for Smith.
Gets this to fail.
And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And this coaching staff, CD, I think you'd agree, pleased with this overall effort.
No, I think they're more than pleased, right? They've got to look at each other like, wow, we just pulled this one off in a big way. Great job of motivating. Even better job of game planning. They were facing a top 10 defense, so they had to make